exploring ominous feelings with Edward Riordan, part 2. Welcome to the Future Forecast podcast. Dennis Nappy II here. I'm joined again with my good friend, Edward Riordan. Edward, I'm excited to continue our discussion. We just finished talking about your ominous feeling and the thread through COVID and your predictions. And we had a great conversation about learning to channel your fear and develop that discipline. But it's good to see you again. How are you, sir?
Doing good. Thanks, man. Good to be on the show. And yeah, great conversations as usual.
It always is. You know, I'm so thankful for our history, and we're actually gonna go back today and kind of recap and then see where it leads us down the rabbit hole with, I think, the target that really brought you and I together, and that was your. Can we say it on the air? Or is that going to get us flagged by the algorithms?
And it might get us flagged. It's getting me in trouble on YouTube. I'll tell you that much.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to give this caveat. You're not going to get the story with the
Here, I did this.
word I'm about to say.
I did this
Okay.
for the video.
Okay.
Wait,
Pull it back.
can you see it?
Nope, it's blurry.
Hang on. There, can you see it?
You can kind of see it blurry. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe the algorithm.
Yeah, maybe.
Here, I'll do it here. Nope. AI's fighting us already. Look, I'm holding it sideways. There you go. You can see the letter. It's a letter in the alphabet that comes after the letter P in the alphabet.
Yeah,
Let's do it that way. Okay. There's a lot of conspiracy threads about that organization out there. And what Edward and I are going to talk about is not that. It's not that at all. He was tasked to remote view what is that, and he brought back data that reads like a science fiction novel. It's a fascinating story, and I saw him talking about that, and I didn't know him. I said, I got to talk to this guy because this resonates with all the things that I was having in my head trying to process, and here he is collecting data on it. And that's how we connected. And he told this fascinating story. You want to just give a recap of the letter? We'll call it the letter after P session that you did.
Yeah, that was a target set up for me by Dustin Newcomb. And Dustin is a good friend of mine. And he selects what I call my vacation targets, you know.
Yeah.
And what I love most about him is like I could never guess what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Never, ever.
So can you give just a list of some of the random?
Oh yeah,
we talked about a lot of them.
Oh man, he gave me a target that Pando.
That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah,
the tree.
Yeah.
He gave me a target that was a pitcher from Major League Baseball who in 1972 pitched a perfect game while he was on LSD.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know about that was the target. That was the target. What else? The Mary Magdalene one.
The Vimanas we talked about,
the Vimanas, Edgar Allan Poe. I mean, I can never guess what it's going to be. He has a wide range, so it's not all
Earth's Core. Remember you did Earth's Core. You did Pi. Pi was very. I feel like I can go through your highlight reel here. I'm so excited for all your work here. Pi was a lot of fun too.
There's never any one thing or a theme. That's why I like his target, because I can never guess that. Empress Elizabeth, or whoever the hell she was another one of people that I'd never heard of. So I really love those. So when he set that up for me, the letter thing, of course, completely blind to the target.
Yeah.
And he wanted to know what was behind this.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't, he didn't set it up like, tell me what the drops are, you know, or whatever. It was, what is behind this?
Right.
And so I go through all these sessions, and it was kind of like the ominous feeling thing. It was just like pour and pour and pour. So I don't know how many sessions I did, 8 sessions or whatever I did for that project. And I had to go to Houston and one for something I was doing out there. He lives in Houston, so I go and I stayed at his house, and he gave me the target reveal. at his house in his kitchen. He says,
Yeah.
"Okay, you ready? You're ready for the reveal?" I said, "Yeah, man." So he gives me an envelope, and I open it up, and it's that, and I'm just like, I really didn't know even what that was,
Right.
because this
Right.
just wasn't a thing I was paying any attention to.
No, it was goofy conspiracy babble.
Yeah, it was just like something that I wasn't had and no interest in
Right.
to even follow along with.
Right.
And so I did not understand. I literally was standing in his kitchen going, I don't understand. I don't even understand what the target is.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, what is this, man? I was dumbfounded,
Right.
and it took days,
Yeah.
maybe even weeks, for me to wrap my head around it. And once I started to wrap my head around it, and then that big picture that came through in all those
Yep.
sessions was what started to really hit me. Like, it isn't this that thing with the drops and the
Yeah.
people, and it's this guy who's doing it, or that guy's in the cabinet and he's getting this
Yeah.
information. It's like, no, 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 man.
It's far
It's
bigger.
the big thing,
Like the big agenda.
the big,
Yeah.
um, that is controlling that thing.
Yeah.
And um, when he puts a target together for me, he has all these, he calls tangential
Uh-huh.
aspects, a
Right.
word that I never use. So it's hard for me to remember the word. I never use
Right.
that word. I think I even had to go look it up. I was like, I don't know, what does that even mean?
It's a geometry term. Comes off of
And
tangent. Yeah.
so he would have all these like sub cues,
Right.
you know, which I really like. I like that.
Yeah.
Some viewers don't like that. They're like, just give me the one thing. And I'm like,
Right.
no, man, I like those tangentials,
Yeah.
because now I can go everywhere I want to go.
Right.
And so, uh, yeah, anyway, so yeah, the whole thing started to hit me, what this was. And I talked to him, he and I talked about it, and we were like, I was like, dude, I don't know if I can put this out.
Right.
This might be dangerous to put out,
Yeah.
you know. I don't know if I want to take that chance. But then I started looking around, and it was like there was a bunch of people had all kinds of stuff out about it, you know.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, big deal if I put something out. There's like thousands of people putting out stuff on it already.
Right.
So I contacted him. I said, I think we should put it out. He said, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
more than happy to not put it out. Be
Right.
like, this is, this is between us. But it was just like, this is some important stuff, and this may need to go out. This may need to get out there, you know.
Yeah.
And so, and then going through the process of finding all these weird anomalies that came through in that, like the Ifinity thing,
Hmm.
things
Well,
that were happening.
can we just take a step back for people that aren't familiar with really what you brought back? It was a sub society, a breakaway, a bit like a breakaway civilization, correct? That was
Yeah,
doing some advanced work involving, and please correct me if I'm wrong, it's been a while since I've gone through this, but some advanced work with AI and
yeah,
nanotech and the
yeah,
integration, we'll say, into greater consciousness,
yeah,
to recap it quickly and concisely.
yeah,
But that's what your sessions were, and you have hours of video on YouTube about it.
yeah.
Um, if you want to look, those
It
want to look at it.
started out like with these two fractions, these two
Yeah.
factions who
Yep.
were at odds
Yeah.
about it, and then that became, well, what's that? What is that all about?
Right.
What are they at odds about? Who's on what side, and what are they about? What are they
Right.
about? And then it just unfolded in this big agenda.
Right.
And um, and when it's just another one of those things where I look back at it now, and my feelings, I'm glad I did it.
Yeah.
I'm glad I published it, and it's part of my work.
Yeah.
To do that.